Count Chandos, whose work on the Esme Fairbairn Foundation I admire. I stand having just checked the Brexit timer. It is now 12 days, 10 hours and 27 minutes until we still remain at the risk of a crash-out Brexit. I want to begin by acknowledging the suffering that that's causing to so many millions of people. EU 27 citizens here in the UK citizens who live in other parts of the EU, small business people who are being scolded by the government about not preparing for Brexit, but they have neither the time, the money nor the energy to face these continually shifting scenarios. I think we should acknowledge the damage being done by the Brexit chaos, the individual suffering. But that is not an argument for voting for Boris Johnson's deal. For the fact is, the best possible deal we can have is the deal we have now, remaining in the EU. And that is particularly true for those EU 27 citizens, their friends, neighbours, colleagues, because otherwise they face Theresa May's legacy, the hostile environment in the Home Office. And that is something that we really need to face up once we've cleared this Brexit chaos. But as a new member, I think perhaps in my brief time it's appropriate to reflect on what some members have already said in this debate. And as you may see me doing often in future, go perhaps a little bit or a lot further. The Noble Lord Cashman said that young people would suffer from the loss of freedom of movement. Well, I really want to highlight that fact, because I believe that young people should not have fewer freedoms and opportunities than their parents and grandparents had. They should be able to go anywhere in our own country and 27 other EU countries to live, to love, to work, to study, to move freely. That is something we must not take away from our young people, and we know overwhelmingly they do not want Brexit to happen. Now, the Right Reverend, the Prelate Bishop of Leeds, my almost neighbour from Sheffield, said we're just on the starting blocks of Brexit. And this is a crucial point that really has been utterly undermade, and one that I'll come back to. But I also want to pick up what the Noble Lord Judge said. The crucially important point of what's happened in the last 1,200 days, of how confidence in our constitution has been shattered. Now, he focused on the negative risks there, the fact that this could open the path to authoritarianism. Well, I want to be, as I will often be, the voice of optimism, so I'll focus on this and say this could be the path to making the UK a democracy, as it is not now. The people who voted leave, I say they have a very strong point when they said they wanted to take back control, because peoples whose votes don't count in safe seats up and down the land, people who live in local authority areas being continually overruled again and again here by Westminster, by the overpowerful Westminster, they are not in control of their own lives. So let's make this a path to democracy, looking at the great work of Make Votes Matter, the Electoral Reform Society and others. Now, the Noble Lord Reid referred to the power of multinational companies in the modern world. And I think we can look at the power of one of those, the website Amazon. And I think if we are going to make Amazon and companies like it pay their taxes, pay their workers fairly, we need to be united as part of the peoples of Europe, together, standing up to those multinational companies, creating a different kind of economy. But I wish to conclude where I started with the Brexit chaos, and also the Brexit fatigue, which affects, I dare suggest, nearly every Briton. Can we just stop talking about Brexit? Is a sentiment I'm sure many in your Lordship's House share. Well, yes, we can, but not by allowing Boris Johnson's deal through. The only way to stop talking about Brexit is to stop Brexit. Otherwise, we face years of trying to negotiate our new relationship with our neighbours, with the rest of the world. And that something is not something I believe the country or your Lordship House wants to do.
Lords, I start from the point of view